See, I was the high school slick Rick, I was styling. Fat gold chain with an African medallion. Hip-hop connoisseur and rolling 20 cribbing. Rap game real tight, freestyle was magnificent. All about the clout and all about my dividends. Them older couldn't tell me different. I need a roundaway girl to let me. Showtime at the Apollo. I'm about the bottom. Take two and pour out a little for my who won't live to see tomorrow.
If God for me, who could be?
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Denver Broncos. Season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. He'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Calling no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now.
Well, these two teams have met up in Denver earlier this season with the Broncos winning that one. So they're looking for the series sweep here in Denver.
On second down, here's Carr. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Despite the strong run, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
On 2nd and 9, Carr. And his throw here is incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Now Carr. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 30. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Off the option, here's Jacobs.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
Pretty straightforward play there by the linebacker. He saw the run, went with straight-ahead pursuit, and dumped him behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. He gets it complete to Jackson. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 12-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 19.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Counter play with Jacobs. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs That's his 18th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Raiders will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. So first and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
From the 31, Wilson. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down. And that last throw right there putting him already over 3,000 passing yards now for the campaign.
And given where we are in the season, Brandon, you have to think to yourself, if he stays healthy, I think 4,000's a given. I think
blitz coming, and down he goes. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6.
Well, anytime you sack Russell Wilson, that's a win for the defense. But to get him here on his opening drive of the ball game, that's a really big win for that defense.
And the goal every week, keep him in the pocket. Don't let him get to the perimeter, because when he's in the open field, not only can he hurt you, but also you lose sight of receivers downfield, and they'll hurt you with big plays.
That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. They'll run it for the first time with Williams.
Down at the 35, it'll be second down. The Broncos at 2-7 now on the year. And they come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest, and with a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
On third down, Wilson. Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
A very important third down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up first and goal.
And this time they were waiting for him, as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal. Throwing is Wilson. Touchdown, Broncos. Javonte Williams. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos are an extra point away from evening this one up. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. He oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
Into the end zone. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing it.
The football comes out. Jacobs lost it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. It's a jet sweep as they get this to Jackson. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw in that play with a loss. On 2nd down, Jacobs. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut it down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders' first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
But that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
This pass from Carr taken in by Waller. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 19. A good pickup there of 20 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Up the middle they go with McAllister. And they'll get him down right about the 20.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
The kick by Carlson is good. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some...
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Raiders pick it up. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. Carlson on for the PAT. It's good to make it 17-7.
Makes the score Raiders 17, Broncos 7. Daniel Carlson, the kickoff for the Raiders.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. He'll get this one to Patrick.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
That's another Broncos.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson.
Got an open man here, and it's K.J. Hamler.
And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson.
And this is taken in by Hamler for a Bronco touchdown.
10 yards on the touchdown pass.
And the Broncos get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
Extra point from McManus is good. And it leads down to a field goal at 17-14. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there.
Well, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
Certainly feels like the classic second guess, but let's be honest about it. They had a chance going to halftime with the lead. Why did they take a chance with a throw there? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. And now this defense has to try to protect that lead going into the locker room. The 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Now a run straight ahead with Edmonds. He will push his way down to about the 14. Now the the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Wilson. Touchdown! Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Broncos will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. That could be an important swing right there. A touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing because now that they have the lead, if they can carry that into the locker room at the half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first 2 quarters.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
What now?
So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Goen. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
And they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Wilson. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Raiders have recovered. So that is not the way you want to begin the half when you're only up by 1 score. A turnover right away.
And my guess that in the locker room, that's what the defensive coordinator the other side was saying. We've got to find a way to get the football back for our offense. And they were able to do it.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Once again, it's Jacobs. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
McCarr fighting his former college teammate Adams there for the Raider first. Throwing now is Carr. His throw incomplete.
But plain and simple, that's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to it? Maybe his rhythm was just off. He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
And he'll make it only to the 43, a gain of 2.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Carr. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jackson. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the first down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. Here's A.J. Cole now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
Now Wilson on first down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Now a give up the middle to Williams. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Richie Grant. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that gives him a 3-point lead.
Broncos 21. Daniel Carlson.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
19.
From the 29, Wilson. This will be caught. Judy. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 28 yards there and give him the first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage. So timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
From the 36, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone, and they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Here's Wilson. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive, stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
Fourth down. Here's Wilson. Got a man complete. It's Hamler. And he is going to have a Broncos first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Jayon Brown. The 40. Past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. So what a turn of events there. You're driving to take the lead in this 3rd quarter, but then one mistake, and you're watching the ball being returned for a touchdown.
Certainly a great example of how focus has to be there on every play, doesn't it, partner? You can't get complacent, and I think that he did. He's got him moving downfield, but that's a play where he just shouldn't have thrown the football. And ultimately could wind up costing him the ball game.
And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Carlson now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. We'll see if they can band back together after the pick six. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A 2-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks. And they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. Throw over the middle, taken in by Dulcich. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Greg Dulcich, 54 yards. And the Broncos have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So that's a really big play here in the 4th quarter. And don't look now, they're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead, it's down to just 1 score. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the fourth quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
On 2nd and 1, Carr. He hits Adams complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. On the stop that time, it was Josie Jewell. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And he'll be down close to the first down marker as he gets this to the Broncos' 37. 54 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. That one goes for 8 yards. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You take in charge.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. As we get late in this one, is altitude a factor for a visiting team in Denver? Is that something that's overplayed?
No, it's real, and I know a lot of the visiting teams like to downplay it because they don't want to get into the heads of their players, but you can't avoid it. As soon as you get to the locker room, you get to the stadium, they always post it in there. Welcome to Denver. Altitude 5,280 feet. The air is rare.
14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Well, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Carr to throw on 3rd and 1. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown. Carlson now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man. 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
Broncos 28. Daniel Carlson, the kickoff for the Raiders.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
So remember, Charles, last time they were out here, they scored, but they just saw the opposition score, and they're trailing right now, so they're trying to keep pace here. They need a touchdown drive.
Well, if you're a fan of offense, you're loving this, but if you're a fan of defense, this is tough to watch, and it's also tough to keep that up when you just watch your opponent march down the field on a scoring drive that lasts into double-digit snaps. You need a score here, not just to follow the momentum from your last drive, but put the onus back on your opponent. And that's what they're doing right now, swapping that onus back and forth.
Throwing now is Wilson. He's got Hamler. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down. Now Wilson. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Picked up by Richie Grant. And the Raiders are going to take over at their own 41. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
They'll run up the middle with McAllister. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
A give, it's Jacobs off the option.
And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And it's taken in at the 9. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny.
He's got a man, complete.
And he's brought down. They took a big shot there. It pays off. A solid gain downfield.
One last shot for Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Raiders come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the